let's set our eyes on the upcoming matches in our NA region. Group A winners match is coming up first. Toronto Defiant will be facing off against Avidity. This is Group A bracket, so you're aware of who is where and why. It's a circle. Love that for us. Yeah.
Big circle.
You know what else is a circle? A marble.
What's that?
So, it's all coming together. It's all coming together.
Yeah, actually going full circle. Let's put those tinfoil hats away for just a second and take a look at some hard-hitting facts, and that's that Toronto Defiant is looking really hot. They're coming up second place at EWC, right? So, also those pictures,
they go crazy.
Actually go crazy. But they had a really good run very recently at EWC, right? So, they slaughtered the Chinese super team in round 1 of the playoffs. They continued to take down Twisted Minds, and then they went up against Zeta Division, which it was a close game, okay? But still, they only fell to an actual champion of the tournament. So they got to come off a high. They got to be feeling good.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, Sugar Free's aura in this picture goes crazy. I mean, at some point in time, we're going to have a lineup of players' photos, and we're just going to have to power rank them and how much aura they got.
How have we not power ranked player profile pictures yet?
Oh, we will.
Next studio show, I'm on it. Ben! Quickly. Avidity. Not as much aura. You know?
Yeah, unfortunately using the default pictures, but it's all good.
Yeah, it's alright. It's a little disappointing, but that's...
Not everyone can have cowboy hats, you know? It was limited cowboy hats. They didn't have the Toronto Defiant brand. I wonder what we will see from this team, though, because the team used to be Hypnos and A, then they got acquired by Avidity, then the complete roster has been dropped in June or early July. Made some new pickups, and it really just only recently came together. I think the biggest name value there has to be Twals. He's been around for a hot minute.
Yeah. Twals has been around for a long time. Yeah, I used to cast it back in Contenders, way back when in EU. I mean, Wisp has also been around too. I think Wisp is a pretty known figure, known quantity in EU, especially in Calling All Heroes and the Tier 2 scene for a while. So I expect big things from the team. But against Toronto Defiant,
yeah, that could be a little hard, especially after what Zoe said, Esports World Cup, Toronto Ultra really stepping up to a different level. So now it's Defiant, there were some question marks after what happened in Dallas, they didn't perform to the level on the global stage that people were expecting. But if you're Avidity, this is oh yeah, guys, we made it to the big league, we won our first game, and then here comes Toronto Defiant stumbling in. It's going to be a hard matchup.
Losing is learning. Humbling experiences are good for all of us.
We're still saying that's quote.
We're saying it.
It will live on forever. For now, though, let's head into the match. Guys, please take it away.
Thank you very much. Sorry, unfortunately we still, he copyrighted it, and he says we have to say it at least once per split, Scott.
He's not getting royalties on it as well, so every time someone says it... Oh, okay, that's nice.
Thankfully not. We bullied that bit out of the contract, luckily. Here's the map pool, though. Here we go. Of course, if you don't remember, it is losers' picks, and they can pick any kind of mode. So loser at the first map, which will be control, and it can pick anything. Hybrid, flashpoint, push, escort, whatever, which is quite exciting. Just gives more... impetus to the losing team, just gives them a little bit of an extra leg up as we move on throughout the series. But of course, it is Toronto Defiant versus Avidity. Nepal is going to be the first map, Scott.
Yeah, Toronto get the first pick as the highest seed, so obviously this is going to be feeling it out for Toronto Defiant, right? This is a team that coming into just this section of the tournament, it's about just sort of stretching your legs, getting confident, playing well, and having some fun with it, while Avidity on the other side, when you're a team that's sort of underrated heading into a match, do you start throwing curveballs, right? The meta has been so defined, playing Diva and all that kind of stuff. Can you throw something weird? If we're going over Nepal, maybe play Roadhog on Sanctum. It works in my ranked games. It could work against Toronto Defiant.
Can it? Really?
Yeah. Hey.
Sure.
It might. Yeah.
No?
Potentially.
Clueless? It's not working, Scott. I'm sorry. We're not going to see Roadhog on Sanctum. Although...
I really hope we see a Roadhog pick.
Although, Roadhog is, tank buff, takes less damage from headshots.
That's true. That's true. We are in, we're in a very different patch than we have been in the past, right? Tanks are a very crucial part of the team, right? They're so much more survivable than they've ever been. They are the tip of the spear. D.Va has so much matrix, you're able to survive so much pressure. So that's something that has really helped this Toronto Defiant roster. Someone has been known as a very strong player, someone who likes to put themselves in the forefront to be able to lead the team. So that's what makes this Toronto Defiant and Someone squad so difficult to play against. But Avidity actually going to come out on the Wrecking Ball instead of the Roadhog. Disappointed, but interesting.
Okay. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, Wrecking Ball versus just kind of the classic Sigma comp here. With Alaric, Vega, RuPaul 2 on the bat. I mean, how's Pella going to really interact with this fight? I mean, sure, he can kind of lock down the backline, I guess, but look at how much damage they've already taken. Like, good luck getting anything done, and followed up with your Tracer too. It's a hard team to dive.
Especially because of the amount of damage coming out from the backline of the Defiant as well. Alari and Baptiste, that's just so much damage that every time you show your face, exactly like Eve, it's just going to be so much damage, and they can play around the pylon. So if you're not able to get such a well-synced dive, you're not going to do enough damage to take anything down.
Yeah, I don't think so. Point's been captured there by Toronto. As Pella is attempting, Scott. I say attempting to try and make a difference.
Tempting is the right word, because it's really struggling. Like, just look at how much damage Pella's taking anytime they slide through. You're gonna see them going around the right side to try and avoid and mitigate some of that damage, but it's all about setting your team up in the perfect position. As you can see, the Lucio and the Tracer moving around, trying to get on top of this pylon, but it needs to all be in sync, and it looks like they're out of sync right now. Nenwai goes in, does take down Vega alone without Pella.
Nenwai claiming one. Pella's still trying to get some stuff done, but yeah, 100 HP has to back out, and Nenwai and Pella overstayed their welcome a little bit. 40% now and building for Toronto. Whole other ultimates coming online as well. I mean, maybe Nano Ball, what do you think of that? Nano Ball, slam in, go for something crazy?
Don't love it. I'm not gonna lie, because, you know, obviously you get more damage on the slam, but the issue is you don't, once again, have enough damage to get through it all. They have the immortality fields, they have the, you know, regenerative burst. It's gonna be difficult. Especially, I think whoever gets nanoed is gonna get fluxed. You have to look at the other side. We got Merit with a Bob, someone with a gravitic flux. They're just going to use it defensively whenever any aggressive setup comes from Avidity. Oh, they're not even gonna get
in the hands of Sugar Free. Yeah, I mean, Flux comes out from someone in the end, but I mean, fight's done, job's done. All good. Back to Orgrimmar you go. Avidity not able to really get much stuff. Kind of again, kind of just presence in the fight from Pella. I mean, mines are coming up, but it is last fight. Are you even going to be able to get a mines off at this point? That's going to be anywhere near effective, because I mean, look at Toronto. They're just going to play onto the spawn doors.
Spawn door.
Nano boost on to Pella as they go for the slam in the front line, but already you can see Merit and his Bob just cleaning up. Someone has to touch as well, but unlikely to do so. Oh, Scott. It's over. Round one to Toronto.
If you didn't believe us heading into this match about how Toronto Defiant are the heavy favorites, you're starting to understand why. They are the best team in North America. Head and shoulders. You know, we were talking about this before we came into this cast of, like, it's really Toronto Defiant at #1, and especially with M80 falling out of North America and, you know, from OWCS, it feels like it's fighting for second and third. So that's why Toronto Defiant is so good. They're just so consistent, so strong, and more importantly, they can play so many different things. They just played the Sigma, double flex support, high damage output, and now as we head over here to a new round, they're playing something completely different. They can put someone over to the Winston, RuPaul on Ana, he's pretty good at that hero as well, Merit on Ashe. Like, there's just so many different things they can do.
Yeah, I mean, being a champion for a reason, someone like the flexibility is just unreal from Toronto Defiant. We'll see how Avidity do end up trying to deal with the backline now. Of course, Ana and Brig instead of that Alari. RuPaul missing the sleep, all good though. I mean, just hide up on this high ground as a three-man, right? I mean, Pella just tries to go in, you get bash, you get whip shot, slept, anti. Like, again, the follow-up so tough. Even on the high ground, like the Tracer's not going to be able to get there.
Someone's just trying to zap Eve out of the air, just consistently hitting these right clicks, and you can see he's just endlessly causing pressure for this backline. Great sleep by Skier, but even he's healing. There's just so much pressure going out that eventually someone does zap Eve out of the sky.
Yep, there's two down there. There's someone that takes down the Echo. Point unlocked. I mean, this is looking a little rough, I'd say.
It's all right, you know. Still get some more charge up, right. You know, start getting a little bit of feeling. Nenwai, I like this change. Going over to the Brig, it feels like as the Lucio, they weren't able to push away the aggression from someone, even with Great Sleep by Skier. It's just delaying the inevitable more than really keeping them alive. So Sugar Free trying to get into the back line, getting close to a pulse bomb. You got to be dangerous, but doesn't even need it. Eve once again down first.
Don't you enjoy doing that? Delaying the inevitable? Delaying your demise?
Every day.
Just for a moment.
What do you mean in Overwatch?
That's the human existence. Delaying the inevitable, delaying the inevitable demise of your body and your consciousness, and where you return to the soil.
Okay, I'm going to cut you off here, Jack, and talk about how Bruteball has a nano boost coming on. That's going to be dangerous because someone can choose the window whenever he needs to go with that nano boost. Might not even need it, and then why? Once again getting caught. It's just brutal in the stick.
Yeah. Holy, yeah, the aura's not just in that profile picture there. Very much in the server right now from Sugar Free. Clean stuff. Wouldn't expect anything less, to be fair.
The real question is, do you think Sugar Free is wearing the cowboy hat right now?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you'd have to be true, right?
He's got the ice on his wrist,
picture, but not wear it.
He's got the hat on as well, 100%.
This is what makes them the best. Maybe if Avidity had ice on their wrists, they would be, you know, playing at a higher level.
It weighs down, so you're more connected to the desk because it's so heavy.
Weighted blanket.
Yeah, exactly. It's so heavy on the wrist that you're able to control your mouse more. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it.
Just get a rollie. You'll be good at Overwatch. Nano boost has been deployed there onto someone and the brig. Unfortunately, Sugar Free once again just causing an absolute ruckus in the back line. 90% of voting for Toronto Defiant. As this is a flattening so far, although Avidity do end up capping the point eventually after duplicating the brick. Free rally, maybe. Maybe not. Only a couple of seconds remaining. 12% off. And Eve has to get out of there pretty quick, but it is Toronto now on the back foot. You have to get this recap.
Yeah, it's just so much damage coming out from so many different players. Defiant, though, Eve falls, and now Vegas steps up. They've got a rally of their own. Potentially might match NY, but I don't even know if they need it.
I mean, Sugar Free still holding on to this pulse on. Oh, sucks the shield. That was a nice little bash there as well. Trying to tag Sugar Free with their own pulse spot. But now without Pella, there is little to no hope of you actually getting to the point, and I think this is going to be map. Scott, 99% to a solid 18 from Avidity. I mean, you've got to be pretty conscious of the fact that you ended up in a group with the Toronto Defiant, and this is probably how the match would go, but there we go. Map number 1, over to Toronto. Avidity, well, they get their choice of map now.
Yeah, and that's an opportunity for you to be able to pick something that, as I said, like maybe a map where the Wrecking Ball can work better. You know, Pella seems to really prioritize playing that pick, so maybe they can go somewhere where that can get a little bit more value, because right now it felt like them trying to play the Wrecking Ball isn't working, and we even saw Pella switch over to the Winston, but going into a Winston mirror against Toronto Defiant is a bold strategy. Obviously, you got to try something, but I don't think that's going to be the best way forward. If you're going to even just attempt to make it competitive, you know, forget about trying to win the series against Toronto Defiant. You have to be realistic at some points with some of the gaps, but try and learn as much as you can. Losing is learning, as Matt said, put it in the royalty, but it's about just sort of getting a little bit of legs in and playing your own game.
Where do you think you want to go, though, in that case, if you were to go to a map? If you want to play the ball.
Ball. What's the best ball maps? Because you can go any mode now as well. So there's like so many options of like things that can be open. I don't know. I do like Blizzard World a lot as a Wrecking Ball player. I think there's a lot of flanks, a lot of megas that you can play around, a lot of good jump spots. And I think you can. It can be a little bit more difficult to play the Winston because of some of the distance. But even then, there's some weaknesses on that map.
Maybe a little Blizzard World. Do get their opportunity to pick now, and they will be doing so. So we'll find out that in just a moment. Yeah, I mean, the ball, and we know how good someone is on, like, Winston. Well, pretty much every tank, right? We haven't seen him a crazy amount on the Wrecking Ball.
Yep.
But this is a possibility if he wants to really stick it to him, I suppose.
Talking about sticking to it, Sugar Free was absolute menace on this trace here. And that's...
Did he even die?
I don't know. Probably not. Let's be honest. He's someone who's been like, ever since, you know, his debut in the Overwatch League, he's just been getting better and better. And we knew Sugar Free was going to be great at Overwatch since he was like 14 and like running around in the top ranked lobbies. It's just he's finally arrived in a big way, and he's really showing why he's been hyped up for so long, because he's so flexible. He can play so many different things, and he plays it all at a top level.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is going the way kind of everybody kind of expected. I mean, Toronto Defiant taking that first map pretty easily there. Avidity, they had a little touch, a little 18%. You take those, but yeah, it's a little bit of a team mismatch at the moment, you could say. I mean, Toronto are probably going to steamroll this group and then kind of move on. I want to know if anybody can really like push them to their very limits, because we haven't really seen that yet, at least in the region. Of course, internationally, you know, at Dallas, yeah, they were pushing their limits. You know, they did not have a good showing at Dallas at all, and they'll be wanting to kind of remake themselves in Stockholm, which they will definitely make. But will NRG Shock, like, are they a team to kind of take it to Toronto? I'm not entirely sure, but for right now, Avidity going down a map, not the greatest here, but you know, it's a live and learning experience, like you're saying, like Matt was saying, like Matt's been saying for like good 6-7 years. He's not even here, and we're still talking about him. This is insane. He's just.
I know. I hate it here. I really do.
It does. It does. Yeah, we should.
I agree with you. Like, it's one of those things that, like, when this roster was put together, everyone was like, Toronto Defiant is going to be the best. That was a disappointing performance from Dallas, and they'll tell you themselves. Did redeem themselves recently, but now it's the rest of NA's job to really step up. M80 fell short trying to keep up with Toronto Defiant. Can some of these other teams do that? And we will see some of them later today, right? We have a great matchup coming after this one with NRG Shock versus TSM, you know, two up-and-coming teams. But we're going to look at Avidity going towards Eichenwalde. That's interesting because it's definitely not a Wrecking Ball map.
Yeah. Eichenwalde, what would you kind of expect to see played here?
I think Winston or D.Va, you know, we didn't see any of it in the first map, but D.Va has been so strong in the meta with just how much armor she has and the defense matrix buffs. Like, she's just impossible to dislodge. And D.Va, because there's not a lot of distance to climb, it's just a lot of verticality, D.Va's just very strong here in this situation. So I could see them playing that, but
right,
from what we're looking right now, just both sides on the Winston, also a very strong pick.
Yeah, D.Va's just so impressive right now, man. It's like really hard to play hit scan, like supports as well. Ana especially, right? You just eat everything, nades, sleeps, etc. Heals. So really, really rough. It's been a tough meta for hit scan players. I'm sure they're all complaining. They always do.
I've never heard a hit scan player complain ever. I feel like they're always very, very normal, you know, very well hinged people in their takes. But it is one of those things that's very difficult, you know, with these tank buffs. As a hit scan player, you have to play so much smarter because the tank players have so much sustainability, they can get onto you, and you really become very dependent on your own support. So we're actually going to see what feels like is just going to be a straight-up mirror matchup from both of these teams, which, you know, as much as I said, maybe you need to throw something different at Toronto Defiant, just sticking to what you're good at and what you practice is also an important thing, you know. Yes, it'd be nice to maybe throw a curveball and that could get you more success. Just playing straight up sometimes can lead to that improvement, lead to, you know, doing better things, but that's not a good start.
Well, I mean, were they holding stairs? I think they were. Not sure what happened there, but Sugar Free secures the kill, and that'll be point.
And that's just so quick. Yeah, Pella just taking so much damage, and that's, you know, that's the knife's edge that you have to play on Winston. And just like in this game at the highest level, Winston can lose, as much as they have so much HP, so much armor, you can lose it all very quickly without that HP. And, you know, unlike D.Va, you don't have the defense matrix, and the only defensive ability you have is a bubble that is such a valuable cooldown. So you see Pella just not getting it off, getting punished, and losing the first point instantaneously.
Alright, we'll see if they can make more of a defense on point 2. Nice little bubble there from someone, almost narrowly avoiding the nade. But I mean, the high ground control, always kind of a tough to assail. But the problem is, you are against someone. Oh, sleep. Dynamite straight on top, although it instantly puts a bubble down. Someone should be able to get out of here, yeah. Oh my, it's actually the Ana that falls first from Avidity. And we're also super low, but oh, what a flick. Sugar Free down. Okay, that's one way to shut down the GOAT.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Merit's going to return the favor. Wisp going down there, going blow for blow right now. But someone's going to take down Pella, and that should just mean that Toronto Defiant are going to keep this cart moving, and Eve dies late as well. So Merit's in a perfect situation, and most importantly, Defiant didn't have to use any ultimates. Never mind, they're going even more aggressive.
All right, well, Nano Boost into the back line. Good luck coming through these castle doors now. Primal Rage from someone.
Verified Overwatch League player. Love that for you, someone.
So true. So true. I've got that spray too, and I pretend every day.
Wait, you weren't an Overwatch League player?
Yeah, but I still got the spray, though. I still got the spray, though. Oh, good sleep on someone. Yeah, stops me using that Primal Rage. Enemy to touch, though. Yes, triple blink on the point. Eva forced to recall, and now it's Pella's time. Oh, Bob in the bubble. And nowhere for Pella to hide, and there is the checkpoint. All thanks to the bot.
Oh, this is just going to be even more staggers as this is a blisteringly fast time. Wisp does get both of them on the way out with a great dynamite. Oh, okay.
Well, you know. Oh, you know. Nano Boost, Rally, Bob, Primal. Everything available from Avidity right now. It's just someone's Primal Rage.
It's about not using too many of them at once here, because someone's going to jump in and try and get as much value as he can with this Primal, force as many ultimates as he can while staying alive. Phil's going to go aggressive with a Nano.
Yeah, super aggressive, trying to hit some of those right kicks on Vega, who was antied in the back line. Unfortunately, though, that shield was up, so none of those shots actually landed. And now he's even going to use that rally, too. Speaking about using everything at once, Bob's been thrown out. Avidity, not too many lifelines left here. And unfortunately, quite a few questions before you can be a millionaire. Toronto Defiant now just going to deploy all their ultimates. I mean, yeah, Rally, Primal Rage straight into the backline. Sugar Free's got the pulse one, Scott. I mean, just getting juggled around here. Now he just forced all the way back into the spawn, leaving Arna completely alone. Easily followed up with. And that was kind of an overextension there by Avidity. You've got to say, Scott, using all of their ultimates so early on. Oh, and he even kills the Brig. Yeah, that should be points.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty much a 4-minute time bank here for Toronto Defiant. And I really want to highlight how good someone was in that, right? Like, and just the entire team. I said Avidity needs to be careful of using all of their ultimates at once. But what Toronto Defiant did is they just mitigated so many of them one by one that it just fell by the wayside. So Pella goes in with the Nano Boost, gets whipped by Vega. So all of a sudden, that's not getting the value it needs to. They're not able to get the punish. But then someone on the other side has gone so aggressive, forces out the rally from the backline of Avidity, that then they can't even punish and get him to force the Primal. So therefore, someone gets out, they back away from the Nano Boost, and then all of a sudden Avidity's like, well, we need to get some value. They throw the Bob, and then there's a complete disengage from Defiant, and then all of a sudden Avidity have nothing left. Someone goes in with the Primal Rage. There's nothing they can do. That's textbook how you play the macro game of Overwatch. And that's the thing that Toronto Defiant do so well. And that's why, yes, there can be skill differences within teams of individual players, but really where you see the biggest difference of these top teams is just how they coordinate together and make the right decisions at the right times.
Orisa for the defense from Toronto Defiant. Okay. Something I didn't really think we'd see a whole lot of this meta, but okay. I mean, I trust someone to do whatever, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, like, do you like the Orisa? Because I feel like she's been quite weak ever since the huge nerfs to her cooldowns, right? She used to be very hard to kill, but now because of the cooldown changes, it just doesn't really survive. But as you said, I trust someone, you know?
Ooh, ooh, that was close. Gave Wisp two opportunities there. Two people like hard peeking that corner. Yeah, I mean, Orisa historically has been good against Winston, like locking the Winston down, like with the spear and with the javelin spin and stuff. But yeah, especially in this kind of meta, it doesn't feel like Orisa is the strongest pick you could roll out with. But there you go. I think, again, a kind of experience dip potentially here. Wisp in a whole heap of hurt right now. I'm speaking about pushing the limits as well, Scott. Like, oh my, okay, well, okay.
Maybe that's why. Maybe he's so big brain, he's like, when we get a pick, we're going to push up and I'm going to javelin someone up close. Oh my god.
I mean, this is just silly. This is just silly. Also, Sugar Free and Merit kind of swapping roles here as well, worth mentioning.
Yeah, this is starting to be like a viewership discretion advised. Don't try this in your ranked games kind of moment of like, hey, maybe don't play Orisa, but, you know, these guys are so good. They're so confident in themselves. They're just doing whatever they want at this point.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, still Merit there, like, triple blinking into the backline, thought maybe they could get a pulse bomb, but backing up at the time. Luckily, however, your team is losing a lot of health very quickly. Your supports are going to get a whole lot of ult charge very quickly, so that's a positive for sure. Pulse one from Merit going wide, but still catches the Ash in the skies. And Merit's just going to exist here for a while, I would imagine, although burning that recall does change the situation somewhat. Nano boost in the backline for Avidity, yeah. Big value for the Winston, but still, I mean, some of Merit just immovable objects in the front line.
Yeah, and that's just Someone's just able to just like run down. Vega's going to go over to the Lucio. Merrick going over to the Venture as well. So it's definitely getting a little silly over here for the Defiant, but they're just so confident in themselves. They have the ultimates to be able to deal. Without the nano boost for Avidity and Scare, it's just one of those things of like, how do you get Pella into the fight without losing all of their health?
I don't think you can. Nano boost onto Merrick, onto the Venture, and everybody dragged on in. That's a Terror Surge from the Orisa, just helping Merrick clean up on the Venture. Minute and 30 to go. A tick almost acquired there, but unfortunately now for Pella, they are on the wrong side of the map. And very little health to kind of work with too, and Merrick is on the hunt, turning Pella into a fossil.
Yeah, you can see when Pella jumped in aggressive to try and take space but not take damage, Toronto Defiant is like, okay, if you're going to do that, we're just going to run at your backline, and there's nothing that they can do. They have ultimates up now, Rally goes off, but they need to keep the hand alive.
Oh, double pulse bomb kill from Eve though, okay. RuPaul, Sugar-Free down, double kill for the Tracer. With only a minute to go, that was the opening that they needed. They needed a miracle, and they found it, luckily with that pulse. Okay, here we go.
Huge.
Primal Rage, Bob. They can take high ground, but someone is now on Winston.
It's a problem. Someone's going back to the Winston. Let's see this double pulse bomb. Oh, nice.
The 180.
Tracers are so good at that these days. It's unbelievable how good they are.
Yeah.
Especially against Briggs. Like, Briggs are so ready for the pulse bombs these days that the best way to get them is to blink behind them and instantly throw. It's very hard to react to. So, yeah, perfect play there by Eve, punishing, you know, a great player like Vega and RuPaul.
It's like you almost might, as well as the Brig player, not be looking at the Tracer.
Just look
looking other way.
Times. What are you gonna do now?
That's the evolution of the Brig. Oh, Sky there unfortunately juggled with that tectonic shock. And I mean, this is where the pain train departs, I think, Scott. I mean, you're going to get held at these doors.
Okay. Eric just going ahead.
Eric was just like kind of chilling there. Okay, just vibing, I suppose.
All right, and look at just how aggressive you can play. Like, Venture, everyone knows Venture is just so difficult to deal with. You have so many survivable tools that trying to turn your attention to Venture is generally disadvantageous for your setup, because if you turn, they're going to dig, and then you're committing resources that you can't afford to a hero that you can't punish. So you can see Merritt's just going to exist in the backline, and Pella with this Primal is going to try to go aggressive, but once again, someone first.
Surprise! Merritt, someone jumped there over the highest high ground to land in the backline with the nano boost applied. A minute and 50 to go, okay. Whisper out on the Cassidy instead. Kind of the perfect counter to the Venture.
Yeah.
That hit grenade really does a lot of work. Bob being thrown in there, trying to match the aggression coming out from Avidity. Primal Rage from someone ripped, and good luck staying alive now. If you're not dead to someone's hands, then you're going to be dead to the Bob, but that's kind of staring at you near the spawn.
Just Nenwai running away, getting into spawn. Even with another big pulse bomb, if Avidity can reset and Eve can stay alive... if Avidity can reset, then they could potentially use this advantage of Sugar-Free going down.
Nano boost. Nano boost, Vegas had this beat as well for a little while, so it's been, I mean, at this stage, it's like you just save it for the last fight. There's only a minute to go. Sky once again kind of surprised by the aggression coming through from Toronto Defiant. Okay, 3-person beat, why not? Nano boost deployed onto Nenway, but look at him carrying in the corner, has to hit that rally, just bashing away, can't even get those Inspire procs off. Luckily gets that one there with the flail, but can't lock anybody down. You can see Toronto Defiant scurrying like ants away from that Brig, and now Nenway is in trouble. Bashes out of the castle, but you're not long for this world. Luckily you've got the armor to kind of back you up, but it's been a struggle thus far for Avidity. Every single bit of resource there trying to pump into Nenway to keep them alive, but that's really about it. And Toronto Defiant just still taking heads.
Yeah, Sugar-Free just is so flexible, able to just switch over to the Ash, gets 2 picks, and then Mera follows up. The Tectonic Shock, and now all of a sudden Avidity, they got a little bit of space with all the ultimates, and now we're touching the spawn doors again. What do you do against this? It's so oppressive.
Yeah. Merritt? Yeah, literally on the spawn using the burrow. Like, well, the payload is moving, Scott, so overtime will trigger. That's the Primal Rage from Pella making sure its jobs are good in, but a good sleep and an even better boot there. And that will be that. Toronto Defiant, a 2-0. To start the series, Scott. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's discuss. Let's break that one down.
Break that one down. Yeah, Toronto Defiant. Pretty good at Overwatch. It's just crazy, the wealth of riches. I'm just going to glaze Toronto Defiant again real quick. You know, you can have Sugarfree go over to the hit scan, play it at an incredible level. Merit just goes over to an unconventional pick, sometimes a Venture, you know, gets a ton of value. They're just really able to, you know, do whatever they want. And that's the thing that is impressive to me, and something that can be really difficult for some teams, is being flexible and being able to play so many different metas. And Toronto Defiant, they would just stretch their legs in this match. Avidity, unfortunately, just not able to hang.
Yeah, this group is a battle for the second place, although that's always kind of been the thing in NA, right? With Toronto Defiant, it's the battle for the second place in that group, and then the battle for second place in NA, because they are that good. It won't ever get old, though, honestly, seeing highlight reels from Toronto Defiant, whether it's on a LAN, like, even though, you know, they didn't do so well in Dallas, but in general, like, Sugarfree, Merit, someone, they've always been super impressive players, and RuPaul too, like, gotta be one of the best flex, if not the best flex support in NA right now. Yeah, we'll just see how they can kind of continue. Probably, again, going to be a 3-0 here, but if you were Avidity, Scott, are you going to stray towards a particular game mode?
I think at this point, like, talking about the specifics of their maps, like, for them, it's like, what do we go to? Sadly, I don't think it's going to have that big difference. If anything, I think the most important thing to do in this match is to just enjoy yourself. Understand that potentially this is going to be a difficult match. Okay. Focus up for the next one, right? They had a great 3-0 over Timeless Ethereal. Now, whoever wins of Absolution and Timeless Ethereal, that's who you have to face off again, because that's what matters. As you said, top two make it out of the groups. You're in a group with Toronto Defiant, except that that's going to be difficult. If you can get second, you're out of groups, and then you're in the bracket. So that's the thing that I think you really need to amplify for your team whenever you're in matches that almost feel unwinnable, right? Just try and focus on the positives and focus what you can take out of this match and go into the next to find success.
Welcome back. Yes, Toronto Defiant versus Avidity. Scott, we are at 2-0. Okay. We're kind of in-between stage right now, because we could go to map 5, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to be. I mean, Avidity, they're kind of outmatched here by Toronto Defiant, but I like what you said before you went to break. Like, you just got to prepare for that second place match, right? You got to prepare for your opponent coming up next, because you want to make it out of the group, you want to make it to the bracket stage in the main event, and that's what you got to look forward to, because you know Toronto are coming first. There's some probably valuable lessons you can kind of learn against this team as well.
Yeah, there's so many micro things that you see a better team do than you that you can take away, right? Like Pella, let's use them as an example, because the issue that they had is every time they tried to take space, they were just taking an insane amount of damage, and that's something that you might not always be punished for from weaker teams, right? So it's about learning the windows in which you can get space, take that space, and use that as an advantage. So really just try and take all the little things you can as an individual and as a team. Just have fun with it, move on. They're going to go over to Dorado, another map which is going to be difficult, a Winston, an Ash map, so we'll see. I expect this to play very similarly to Eichenwald, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, just pure dive, right?
Yeah.
Just go on Winston. What do you think about the Winston versus D.Va matchup?
So it's interesting because D.Va is very strong. As you can imagine, she can mitigate a lot of damage, but in general, she doesn't have as much threat being able to get into the backline. Obviously, she can go with rockets, but against a good backline, they will be able to mitigate that kind of success, especially with an Ana and a Brig. But the other thing that D.Va struggles against with Winston is the Tesla cannon of the Winston ignores the armor. One of the biggest strengths that D.Va has also ignores the defense matrix, the other defensive tool for D.Va. So that's why there has been, always a back and forth of D.Va is very good because she can punish and just shoot the Winston in the butt the entire time, and he just sort of takes a ton of damage, but it also goes the other way around, especially since the Tesla cannon ignores armor. So it'll be interesting. I think you can definitely try it. I don't think one is dramatically better than the other. Almost personal preference could go a long way, and it could be something that Avidity could try if Pella's comfortable on it.
All right, well, maybe a little bit D.Va, maybe a little wrecking ball again, right? We saw a little bit of ball on Nepal.
Yeah. I reckon ball on Dorado would be a bold strategy, but hey, I've seen Yeetle do it. If Yeetle can do it, anyone can do it.
Exactly. If Chasm, if Ball Overwatch, if Yeetle, if any of the ball players can do it, it's doable in your ranked games right now, if you want to lose SR.
That's what we do every time we play ranked. You know, us go hang out with J3. J3 throws our ranked games, and then we really struggle to get our SR up. So it's
hard when someone throws his own game so hard. He needs a duo support to come in and boost, but it's also really hard when you're just continuing to throw like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's only
my Larry's kind of clean, 60+% win rate. Like,
well, it's been interesting to not see as much Alari recently as well, because I think it was something that was played a lot at EWC. Do you think it's just because of how high tempo it can be with the Winston and the Diva, and just how much it can mitigate as the Alari one trick on this cast?
Alari's pretty tough in a lot of matchups, especially now against the Diva. You need like the Sigma to be with you, right? You need to be on a map where you can kind of sit at long range and dictate the tempo of the game and not let them get close. Her ultimate obviously extremely impactful when it does land. Are you going to get it past like Divas at this level? No, like very unlikely unless you get a DMEC. It's fairly slow moving, but also the hitbox of it is quite literally the sun, but it is also the size of the real sun. So no, you are not going to get it past the defense matrix. That lasts for like how long? Like 9 hours or something? So
I think it's like
not likely. Yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the day, you're playing on slower maps like Circuit, any kind of map like that. Midtown as well is kind of the classic one at this point for Alari. On things like Dorado, it's pretty decent on second point. I mean, you can kind of hold that high ground, and you can kind of put your pylon in a little funky position where it can't really get shot easily, but can heal the rest of the height. But yeah, I just don't see teams straying away from things like Kiriko Lucio at this point. Also,
thank you very much.
Kiriko also cleanses. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Thank you very much for coming to Jack's tips and tricks for Alari. Welcome to back to
I'll be on the next Farq video. Catch me there on youtube.com.
Make sure to subscribe to the channel to get Jaws' best pylon spots for Alari on Dorado coming up.
That's a TikTok right there. Best pylon spots coming in.
Okay, the aura's back, which is nice to see. Sugar Free got the hat on. Okay, I want you guys to know that if we said if we're getting an interview with Sugar Free today, he has to bring the hat. So if we don't get an interview, it's because Sugar Free refused to wear the hat on broadcast. Hey, we don't make the rules. But, okay, Jack, which one are you? You get to be a player on Toronto Defiant. Pick one. RuPaul?
100%. The guy that go in the back line.
I don't know. Something about me. Merritt just looks so much confidence. He's like, I don't need to do a move. I just need to be out here. That's what I got.
I feel it.
The scissors.
Someone.
Yeah, that's true.
So true. He's winning 2 rock paper scissors games at once.
Oh, okay. Oh, so he's just come into our ear, and she's also giving us her feedback. You might not have heard her, but she really likes Merritt's rock paper scissors game right now. On the other side of Avidity, we got these guys unfortunately weren't able to get the pictures.
No pictures yet.
Pictures.
But the characters are wearing the OWCS skins.
It does look kind of clean.
Just saying. They are very clean. Just saying. The black with the orange, little bits of white in there on the tracer, man. That looks good. Looks pretty good.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan
too.
So, do you think Pella's going to go for it? Now, it's reinvigorated my love for the Pella Bowl. Okay, it's just seeing this picture. Yeah, I'm back. I'm so back.
Picture, like, I'm so back now. I've seen one JPEG of Ball. I am back.
Yeah, no, hey, sometimes you just got to be like, you know what, full send Ball. And, it could work if you play around the mega packs effectively, Jack, and you swing around effectively against the wrecking ball.
You are not doing the tips and tricks video.
No, I'm cutting the video.
You swing around and you go to mega health pack, and the mini over there. Yeah, you go to that one too. You hope you get healed by Ana maybe sometimes.
Yeah, no, I'll just do the tips and tricks of Doomfist, my one trick. So
Doomfist. I've never seen you play tank, and I don't want to see you play tank, my guy.
It's great. You should watch.
I'm sorry. Is it?
No. Really? Terrible.
No. We're going to Dorado as our next map. Toronto Defiant versus Avidity. That'll be up on your screens in just a moment, just as we load all the players in, getting them in the lobby, and no break. There you go. We're just getting word in. We're going straight in. We're ready to rock and roll. Toronto Defiant and Avidity currently 2-0 from Toronto side of things. And then after this, we've got a banger of a game too. NRG Shock versus TSM. Like, that is going to be the closest game of the day. That is the potential to go all the way. Map number 7, map number 10. Just give us some old Apex stuff, bro, when we go all the way to map number 7, into another game 7, into another,
Yeah.
16 hours of Overwatch.
Nothing was better than the Houston Outlaws Washington Justice best of 7 match that happened in a best of 5. That was the good days.
No. Please. Not again.
The real ones remember. But yes, we are getting into the lobby. It's a little bit of a delay, but we'll see. I'm currently watching, some players mess around in the warm-up. We saw RuPaul and Skier taking the duel, respectable duel, but we're getting in, we're loading, it's game time. Jack,
Game time. Yep. That's me.
if you were to pull this back for Avidity, how would you do it?
If I were to pull it back,
Yeah.
okay. So, you look at the strengths of the other team.
Okay, start.
Right, okay.
Looking.
You're looking right now, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Merit and Sugar Free. Top tier DPS. Somewhat. Champion. Vega
Yes.
RuPaul. There's a champion there too. Vega, kind of elite on the Lucio and the Brig, right?
Okay, I'm looking
Handsome.
respectfully.
They're very cool to talk to. They're pretty
Okay.
chill in real life.
Okay.
And then you got to try and find weaknesses of those things.
Okay,
So,
they hang with the coolest dudes at the hottest
Yeah.
restaurants. I'm ready. I'm
Exactly.
continuing.
Right. So you go into match chat.
Yeah.
You start hard flaming the team.
Okay,
Like
flame my
hard
teammates.
flaming.
Write that down.
Not in the teammates, no, of the enemy team.
Oh, the
Not
enemy
your
team.
teammates.
Okay,
What are
that's
you
what I
trying
was
to
doing
lose?
wrong all these years in rank.
You're
Okay,
at
there you
the
go.
enemy team, and then you
Okay,
just start
enemy
flaming
team.
them, hit their egos, right? Hit their morals. They're just the morale of the team. That's where you got to go from there. I think that's how you do it.
Okay, tear down the morale. Hopefully we can do it.
Yeah, yeah. I
Double
don't see any match
sniper
chat
start.
talking, unfortunately. So,
Oh,
Wiss is dead. Well,
that wasn't in the script. You just told me how to win and that wasn't in there.
Yeah, I didn't see any match chat typing, so... Oh, Sugar Free though. Anti.
Nice
There
nade.
we go. Pella in. Oh, instant follow-up though. Good,
Look how
Anti.
much
Luckily-
damage Pella took for that. Just insane, the coordination that they're able to do. Pella does manage to get back up from the Skier Ana. And you can see just how difficult it is to deal with the Winston just dropping down, dropping the bubble, and able to get back up and get healed.
Yeah, luckily, I mean, someone also took an immense amount of damage, so... Was kind of chilling, that being Pella. Sugar Free on Widow, again, another rarity. Normally it is Merit, of course. RuPaul down, another good pick there from Pella. Setting up with these nades, again, it's what you have to do if you're not talking match chat. You at least got to throw nades to the enemy backline.
They're getting up to a quick nano boost here as well for Pella, so this should be more time off of the clock. If Sugar Free's not going to find picks on this Widow, it's going to be difficult for them to find any opening over the next couple of minutes. Oh, and why getting very close though.
Okay. See what you got, Wish. Unfortunately, yeah, kind of with these grapple shots here, I think Sugar Free is well aware of what's happening. Unfortunately, that's not a fair Widow duel if you've got someone using Primal Rage right in front of your face. Took a little bit longer than someone would have liked there, although that rally and all the packs and the healing thrown at the Widowmaker made sure to extend the suffering, unfortunately, for a bit. 2 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Scott, Toronto Defiant, still moving this payload too. That was basically someone versus the world there in that corner, and someone was winning. And
Yeah, that's a pretty consistent theme for Toronto Defiant, unfortunately. He's just so good at just creating space. And as you saw, the rest of the team didn't even need to give someone that support. So they're able to push the cart the whole way through, and that's only one team fight win that Toronto Defiant needed to get that first checkpoint. And now they're trying to get even more aggressive. Choke out this Avidity roster. Don't let them take this high ground for free.
look at how quickly they've assailed this high ground too. I mean, Vega's got the rally, no real need to worry, although Whisk gets one up on Sugar Free. Quick and clean headshot for the Widowmaker, and here's the Primal Rage. There you go. Vega, unfortunately, pushed down to low ground. Nano boost applied too. Not really giving armor to the rest of the team, more like just a solo raid boss on the sidelines as Pella just tries to clear all of Toronto off of height and does so quite successfully.
Double support ultimates there as well, used by Toronto Defiant just to keep Vega alive. So, great Primal, and now they're going in with the Nano boost.
Ooh, Sugar Free. He's running. He's trying to get out of there. Luckily, he had sights. Unfortunately,
Pella found no one.
Doesn't end up going down. Yeah, and Pella, well, the only thing they did find was that mega health pack.
Good whip.
And a nice whip shot, too. Straight back down to earth. And there goes Avinity's defense just crumbling.
And this might be a dangerous situation where, once again, one team fight one for Toronto Defiant, and they might get the second checkpoint, especially with Sugar Free getting 2 kills on the back of that knee falling. There's no way they can recontest.
Yeah, absolutely no way. Yeah, no other kind of sightlines there from Sugar Free either. Absolutely no way. Pulse Bomb and another Primal Rage. It feels like just 5 seconds ago I watched someone juggle the back line. Can't wait to watch it again.
Yeah, Nemway is getting up to the rally, but we've seen so far, since the brig changes of the rally, it's difficult to stay alive with just the rally. So if someone hits a good juggle, which plot twist is probably going to happen. Nemwai's got to be careful and will need the support from Skier if they're going to use that to stay alive.
Well, sights have been activated. We'll see if Toronto are going to back off. Probably not, if I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think we care too much about the sights. Maybe Sugar Free does, but the rest of the team not so much. Yeah, Wisp couldn't even get away. I mean, that's just sad. That's a little rough. Someone with the Primal. Now, there's been a rally by Nenway there, but look at the juggle. There's absolutely no way you're escaping that. The armor just again prolonging the death of the Ana. Luckily, though, Pella is going to go for the big trade. RuPaul also down. Payload struggling to move at this point for Toronto Defiant.
Big kill by Pella. Getting RuPaul, that really stifles the push because all of a sudden they can't play as aggressive. You see Vegas trying to stay in the fight. And Ken because of a great shot by Sugar Free.
Yeah, no primal activation there, unfortunately, for Pella. Size available from Sugar Free 2. He's got the grapple in a couple of seconds. He will be going to high ground.
And a boost for both sides. I think it's going to be about going first here. You can see the walls popped. Someone's going to try and get aggressive with this nano boost, stuff them into their spawn doors.
Mad respect there from Eve, just making sure Sugar Free doesn't take their head off around that corner. Sugar Free just drawing so much aggro too. Using that taunt on the Winston there to drag them away from the rest of the team. 3 minutes to go. That sight does fade away eventually. And now it's Pella's time to try and turn the tide with the primal of their own. Vega popping the rally straight into the back line with the help of someone. Clean up now for Toronto Defiant. Pella's still vibing though, jiving on the payload if you will. But unfortunately the rest of the team are long gone. Avidity, defense fell. There's 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the time bank for Toronto.
Toronto just consistently the aggressors, and that's very difficult to play on the back foot if you're Avidity. What happens is someone goes in with the nano boost, which allows him to force out the nano boost of Avidity just to go onto Nenwai to keep the Brig alive. And then they also had to use multiple other ultimates to just sort of stay alive. So if you're always playing reactive, what happens is you're just always going to be at the back foot. You're never able to sort of be able to stabilize in your fight. And that's why Toronto Defiant were able to consistently snowball every single fight over and over and over, so that every time they did use their ultimates, they were high impact and they got a lot of value, got checkpoint after checkpoint.
All right, defense time. Where's the ball? Where's the wrecking ball? No,
so you know earlier when I said wrecking ball could have been super sick here, I was lying. I think I was.
Oh, you were lying on broadcast?
No, I wasn't actively lying. I think I was misinformed more than lying.
You were misinformed. Okay, buddy. You knew what you were saying.
I was just trying to throw something at the wall, see if it would stick, but honestly, going down with the Winston ship, I can get behind it. We did see some nice shots by Wisps as well. You know, did get a couple of picks that open things up a little bit. So you keep leaning on that. There's always possibility. But it's very difficult when you have such a great backline of Vega and RuPaul. The Ana Brig is so difficult to get on top of when they have the defensive high grounds like they do.
All right, payload rolling out now. As Wisps trying to find Sugar Free. Again, we talked about how just ridiculously oppressive Toronto Defiant are. And one of the main reasons for that is the flexibility. And I mean, Sugar Free and Merritt obviously having a little bit of fun, swapping roles. Normally, Sugar Free is on the Tracer. Oh, nice! What a shot by Wisps! Wow, Sugar Free did not expect that one coming. That is a nice angle.
And we talked about Wisps is the player that really needs to step up, because in situations where your team is getting wow, great play by someone.
Yeah, really.
But in situations where your team is getting almost punished, no way he's gonna live.
Oh, he does. He got the cheat codes.
Oh, that's so sad. But to go into my point, team play can absolutely be countered by just world-class Widow play. But you can see Wisp tries to walk out of spawn, instantly headshot. So much pressure. Toronto Defiant aren't giving him the opportunity to get these shots.
I hate this as support too. If you're down here, Scott, of course you'll know the feeling. But the Winston just permanently on the high ground, just doing this. Dropping, bubbling, getting away. Dropping, bubbling, getting away. But I mean, there's the pickoff that you need. Wisp finds yet another one. Vega dead. Nemway also falls to Sugar Free, but again, Wisps, a lot of tournament experience too, like I was mentioning before. They have been in Calling All Heroes quite a number of times, like a champion in quite a few of the tournaments too. Like, it is the player to look at if you're looking at Avidity.
Someone nanoed.
Yeah, he's just walking. Well, Wisp is dead. Unfortunately, and a good dodge of the sleep as well. Pretty easy target to hit that Primal Rage and Winston, but someone with a fancy footwork gets out of there pretty easily. Nade bashed, still not going down. Eventually falls, but Sugar Free on the opposite side of things. And Merit, oh, of course. Okay, Merit just doing Merit things there with the double pulse bomb kill.
Felt a little unnecessary more than anything, but you know, sometimes it's about sending a message. Someone does eventually fall, but he just does his job. You see, he takes down the Widowmaker, gives Sugar Free a ton of space to be able to hit his own shots, but on top of that, just is like, oh, who do I go for? The Ana Brig. He stalls the time for like, what was that, 10, 15 seconds of just creating so much oppression that the rest of the team for Avidity just can't do anything, and Wisp is just unable to go anywhere right now.
Can't even use the sights. Is the crazy thing. I mean, Merit just kills 2 there. Oh, dearie me. Then why, though? Alright, kill onto Merit, not too bad. Here comes the Primal Rage, the juggle into the back line. Vega kept alive by RuPaul. You can see that slowly but surely the health bar is just being whittled away. Couldn't quite manage to secure any sort of kill there, and Vega, as stalwart as he is, oh my god, that was a good shot, man. I love Widowmakers, man. Watching Widowmaker play is just, I think, for me, some of the highest enjoyment you can get out of Overwatch, and watching the esport.
I agree. But, you know, it's not good to die to a Widowmaker. As someone who has been on the opposite end of that, the Widowmaker play, can't say I'm a huge fan. Eve does take down RuPaul in this fight before the nano boost can go out, so there is a shot for them to turn this fight.
Very much is, yeah. And why dead, but, yeah, unfortunately, Scott, you forgot to take into account the world champ difference there with someone.
They do get a couple of picks. Wisp getting Sugar Free as well, but they just don't have the damage to be able to get through the health pool of someone and consistently take down the Defiant. Someone just is not done.
It's crazy as well watching like the highest level Winston play possible, right? And you look at someone and you think like one of the best Winstons in the world, and like how active they are. Like there's not a moment where he's not pressuring the back line, pressuring the front line, just doing something, being a menace. I mean, constantly just frustrating the enemy team. I mean, that's all she wrote, I think. Yeah, Wisp ends up going down. Good sleep onto Pella. There's only the Tracer and the Winston left. He does manage to pick up that mini pack, but yeah, someone comes in to the rescue and stomps them into oblivion. And that's Toronto Defiant. 3-0 there, not too surprising. A couple of nice clips from Wisps on Dorado, but a pretty thorough affair here for Toronto with the W. 2-0 in the group now, dropping a single map.
Yeah, that was a pretty dominant win from Toronto Defiant, as expected. You know, it's a good attempt by Avidity, couldn't make it the distance. And, you know, as you said, I thought there were some highlighting moments. I thought there was some fun games. Good match.
Ah, you're so positive. Love that. Casa coming in with hard-hitting analysis once again, and this is why we pay him the medium bucks. In marbles, in fact. No, but I mean, this is exactly how we figured this match is going to go. I don't think Avidity or anyone on that roster or their fans will be too disappointed about this result. Like, this was to be expected, regardless. Some bright spots. Some fun moments. Toronto definitely had fun with it. I love to see the little switcheroo there with Sugar Free and Merit, you know, just getting a little bit of a warm-up in there. But frankly, if you're looking at their recent performances and also at what we saw from them today, like this utter domination, and they make it look like it's easy. Like, they're not seemingly breaking a sweat. They look like they're always having fun with it. This begs the question, how many teams really are in this entire region who can really take it to them if they manage to perform on this level?
I don't think there is a team. I think this is just going to continue for this year at the very least, where Toronto Defiant are on top and every other team is fighting for that second place. This team is just so clinical in the way they play, and they only have 5 players too. I think that was kind of the big question with a lot of teams coming into this year. How many players are you going to field? Are you going to be fielding 2 tank players to kind of fill in the gaps between main and off tank?
Toronto you have someone you don't
need to do that. Exactly. Don't need to do that. This team is just so well rounded, and there's not much more that can be really said. They're just going to be number 1. I'm curious what they think of who's going to be number 2, to be very honest with you, because you know they're going to end up taking the first place there.
I frankly think they couldn't care less.
Yeah, actually, you're so true. Actually.
That's probably going to be, if we ask that, that's 100% going to be the answer. It's like, don't care.
Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, you know, we'll ignore it. But like, the question is like, who do you scrim against in that situation? As a team that's like, you know, in North America, you got to play with a lot of like these opposition teams. They're just so stacked, it does feel difficult. I hope that we do see some of these other teams step up, right? We're about to watch, you know, NRG Shock, who picked up some good players, but how do you deal with the amount of synergy that the Toronto Defiant team has been building for the last, you know, 6 months? These players have, you know, some of these players have played for years, whilst, you know, a couple of extra additions, you've slopped them in, they're feeling good, they have the resources to be able to, you know, keep playing at this level. It's just going to be such a huge gap that's going to be difficult to close. So, good spot for Toronto Defiant fans.
Absolutely. And I mean, resources is definitely something that you can mention here, right? With Toronto Defiant, this org is extremely dedicated to their roster. And they have been ever since they announced OWCS. And I think that goes a long way to have that stability as a player. And Merit is one of the players who's benefiting from it. And that's why he's just like, you know, just pew-pewing out there. Not a worry in the word.
Yeah, he's like the typical hit scan player as well, where like, I load into game. I say maybe 3 words, and then I just shoot people in the head, and we win the game, and then I'm like, GG's in chat, and then we walk away. Like, he is just so good at hit scan. It's scary. Like, I think Wisp had a really good couple of shots on Sugar Free on the Widowmaker, but if it was the other way around, I don't see Wisp getting many kills at all against Merit. Like, he's just a world-class hit scan player.
Yeah, and he can just do so much. Like, you see him on Tracer, a hero he's not really known for, just
he's
like
just a beast.
hitting crazy clips. He's one of those people that is just like, the aim is just incredible, and that's so difficult to match up against, and that's what you need in a team. You know, we've seen on the world stage, you need a hit scan player like Merit to be able to just consistently do this time in, time out. And just, as you said, Jack, he just shows up, does what Zoe says, pew, 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 and then just like everyone dies. You're like, sweet, everyone hit the showers, right? Like, that's what you need from a player like Merit, and that's what a lot of hit scan players do.
Yeah,
I do indeed. And the players in this team just really complement each other as well. You said it as well, Jack. Very, very well-rounded team. There's a lot of depth from the individual players when it comes to their hero pool. They're meta-proof. Like, I can't really see a scenario where they would be struggling. That said, you'll never know. It's Overwatch, so what do we know, honestly? I do know, though, that we have an interview ready, and that should be with Sugar Free. Yes, yes, yes.
Paul?
Show me the bands.
Sugar
Free. Yes, as per our request. First things first, should be congratulations, but it really is disappointment because you're not wearing the cowboy hat from your new official profile picture in OWCS.
Yeah,
I don't know, have you approved that picture?
Yeah, I don't even remember taking that picture. I approve of it though. I missed the hat. I think it's still in Dallas.
It's a good look on you, honestly.
I appreciate it.
I did want to ask, you guys are like head and shoulders above the rest. Like, what other kind of competition in the region that you think is going to get second? Do you think like a TSM are up there in like securing a second place? Like, what other team do you think is strong, obviously apart from yourself, that will be vying for the second place position?
I think it'll just be between Nightmare and NRG. I think they're going to have a dogfight. Every other team is pretty much like the same except for those two.
Yeah, right.
There's not too much competition.
Well, I want to go more global because obviously, you know, you're pretty confident in NA. How do you guys stay motivated, right? Like, you guys, you know, just had a great Esports World Cup performance, but you guys want to be the best in the world. You know, obviously off a rough Dallas performance. How do you guys stay motivated to just sort of like get better every single time so when the time comes, you can play at that level?
Stay motivated. I mean, that paycheck's hitting pretty nice.
Nice. Support. Love that.
Yeah, that's about it, really.
It's all about the marbles. One last question for you. Honestly, that's a valid answer. You don't even need to elaborate on that. Sugar Free, one last question. I mean, I guess that goes hand in hand with the motivation thing. It's more of a, who do you scrim? Because I sense that you do feel like the rest of NA is not really real competition for you. So obviously, where do you go? What do you do? Like, how do you make sure that you keep on improving and not just rest on your laurels?
We give some NA teams a chance every once in a while, but like we mostly just scrim the European teams like ENCE and SSG. It's kind of annoying having to play on ping to play against them, but I mean that's like the best competition we can get without being in Korea.
You guys ever made an effort to try and scrim Korean teams, or is the ping just like absolutely?
It's unplayable. It's too tough.
Too much. Oh well. But so far, it's been working out for you guys. So we hope to see more of the dominance we just got to see. And of course, that you guys have fun along the way, alongside with the paychecks. Sugar Free, thank you so much for joining me. Bring the hat back, and best of luck in your next match.
All right, thank you.